I gotta sit on my pillows to make me look taller, like I'm driving or something. Oh, yeah. Man, you can't sit that on my lap. That ain't gonna work.
I can't see it. What?
I should have put my other shirt on. You gotta have a work shirt on. Yeah. Oh yeah.
What's going on?
Trying to sit back, baby. Sit back with me, honey.
Oh, right. Oh, hope it's for me.
I gotta hold it.
I get things quick, but then you struggle down.
So, people, I'm here. My wife's coming. I don't know about this top of the hour stuff that we normally do, but I can tell you why we didn't make it last Thursday. We went back to Cali. Cali had magnificent, excellent, and any other word adjective you can use to describe a great time in California. Went to our cousin's wife's 50th birthday party. He did an amazing job at planning. It was an amazing atmosphere. It was Soul Train. And the weather in California is beautiful as always. Still want to move out there. I don't know if we're going to make it, but we're going to try. That's why we didn't make it last week. So.
Who's playing?
Who what?
Are you watching football?
I don't. It is Thursday night.
It was his idea to be Thursday night, and football was on. So
yep, I forgot about Thursday night football. But so anyway, but yeah, that's my top of the hour. We had a wonderful time in Cali. It's been raining here the last 3 days, and looked at the weather report in Cali, and they had a heat advisory. It was 90 degrees out there yesterday. So anyway, it's my top of the hour. You can tell whatever you have to say, baby.
My top of the hour.
And I'm in the process of trying to get back slim again. I done got up to 205, so we're gonna see, can I get this thing down about 180 by Christmas. In 2 months, that's 25 pounds.
I don't know how he figured he finna do that, but okay. Because he didn't work out yesterday.
I couldn't work out yesterday.
And so far, no workout for him today.
And you know why?
I mean, you can still go work out. Right?
No, I cannot.
At all? You can't walk?
It's hard.
Just walk.
Okay. So it's about 11 o'clock, but whatever.
It's 9:06. You can walk.
Yep. Okay.
You don't have to work tomorrow, so you good.
I do have to work tomorrow.
Right, Fanny? Okay. Fanny agrees.
You like my chicken? I mean my pork chop. Okay.
Okay, yeah, my top of the hour is, I don't know, I think you already talked about it. We went back to California, that was it. What else is it? I think that's it. No, there was something that was going on in the world and that we wanted to touch base on, but now I can't remember.
The government shut down.
We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, on a federal platform.
Prayers for those who are not getting paychecks though right now. I can imagine how that might feel. That's horrible.
Yeah, our son in the military, and the crazy part about this is, I heard her say this to somebody the other day. I don't know if he was talking to me or whoever it was, but it's interesting how the government can not pay the people that protect us. Like, I don't care what a shutdown is, they should have a rule or a law in place that no kind of way does that affect them at all. Because that's just absolutely absurd.
Yeah. Yep.
But
it says the TSA people not getting paid either. So, and you got them supposedly making sure nothing crazy is getting on the planes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, think of how hard that TSA guy was working at the thing. And you working that hard, you wouldn't even get paid. Looking at my Mirrorlex and stuff. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Searching my Mirrorlex for what? I should have said, you're not even getting paid. Why you doing all this?
You working for free. I tell you what, I give you $10 right now if you let me go through.
Right.
You know what's crazy though? I mean, I'm not that type of person anymore, but the younger version of me, if I was actually working as a TSA worker and they wasn't paying me, man, I'm not about to stop nobody. Like nobody. And everybody. I seen somebody actually say this too earlier on my page. They gonna talk about well, just imagine how big that check gonna be when they first get it. Yeah,
Yeah, but
just
you're gonna be
imagine how your
behind,
bills. Right, that's what I was gonna say.
if you still got a place to stay in.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, Mr. Trump. That's all I'll say. If with the government doing this, they should at least pass an executive order saying that people can't kick you out because of their shutdown. You know what I mean? Like something. You have no support. And the crazy part is, I bet you they getting their check.
Yeah.
So the same people that's cutting their checks and direct depositing their checks should, but whatever. Who are we? We just,
We just the little peasants that live in the country.
That the government's supposed to. Anyway, no mind.
So, okay. So anyway, who we going to talk about? Let's see. So the week before last, we talked about some different rules.
You did.
I did. Anyway, I talked about some different rules, relationship rules, and I found another one. There's one called the 777 rule, which is interesting. Can you guess what the 777 rule is? Try.
I sound like a Jay-Z club.
We'll try to guess one.
I don't know. What is it pertaining to? I don't know. I don't even know the scope.
7-7 rule for relationship. It's got to be, so 777 has got to be 7 of this, 7 of this, 7 of this. What could it be talking about?
I have no earthly idea.
You know, I didn't even guess.
I can't because that's too broad.
Okay, so the 7-7 rule, I think most of you will like this, says that you should have a date night every 7 days. You should have a day trip or overnight getaway every 7 weeks. And you should have a longer vacation every 7 months. 7-7-7 rule.
And you should have a job paying 7 figures to do all of that.
A date night every 7 days.
Well, that's not bad. And
an overnight stay every 7 weeks is not hard.
Because it doesn't have to be nothing extravagant. But the every 7 months or longer.
But the longer vacation could be like a weekend. They said longer than overnight. Or it could be like 5 days.
Yeah.
Every 7 months.
People money be funny though. But I like that. But I think, what I think more than anything, I think all of that is cool, right? So I'm guessing whatever your rule was you did that other time was similar to that. But all of that is cool. I'll just go back to something you always have said, being intentional. I think that, and we've talked about that before, I will say, matter of fact, let's go into this. The date night thing, I would say that's more important to women than it is to men, right? Because what I was getting ready to go before I said that was, I think when you're in love with someone, then you find ways, or for me, it's natural. Like I told you, even when you get on my nerve, I still find ways to continually fall in love with you, right? So when you look at somebody and look at somebody with admiration, I don't think that disinterest or that, everybody gets comfortable, right? But that disinterest in them goes away. And isn't that what the date night and the trips and all of that is supposed to be for, to keep the flame going, to make sure the flame is there and this, that, and the third?
I don't know if that's the only reason for it, to be honest. Okay. I think keep the flame is one of them, but there could be other reasons. There could be other benefits to that. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm moving the thing all around.
All right, because that's what I hear a lot. Like, when you see people really talking about date nights and getting away and stuff like that, it's like, we don't do this no more, or he don't love me, or she don't love me like this, or this, that, and the third. I guess my point is, when you thoroughly enjoy the person in love with the person you with, you may not need to necessarily have those type of rules. And maybe I'm speaking because you and I personally, we do go places a lot. So
I'm about to say, I don't know. I don't think that's true. I think that that people have a tendency to take things for granted if they don't have quote unquote rules or quote unquote carve out times that they're going to just spend time with each other, then people get caught up in life and they don't do it like they should. Because of that, you have the issue with connection, emotional connection, and like you said, the whole flame thing. But I think it also becomes an issue where a person starts feeling like they're being taken for granted, that they don't have time. Because
they ain't going nowhere?
Because they don't have time for each other.
Oh.
They're not putting aside time for each other. It ain't just about going somewhere. It's about having time where you two can connect and maybe even discuss stuff that's going on or discuss blah, blah, blah. But it's very easy to start taking people for granted. And then when you go somewhere off with the person and y'all go for a weekend, even if that's not the intent, maybe you just go somewhere because you got to go to a wedding or a birthday party. And that's a weekend that you all are together. And then you start realizing, appreciating each other more because it just organically happens. And then it's like, oh, well, I have been taking this for granted. I haven't been putting the time in like I should have been into nurturing this, blah, blah, blah. That's the importance of it. So it's not just to spark back up flames, it's also to kind of nurture the relationship so that people don't start feeling like they're not appreciated. And I think one of the ways of getting back to that is by spending time alone. Because there's plenty of time where people, I know it sounds kind of corny because you'll hear sometimes in movies, but it's definitely very real. Because, matter of fact, I remember one time when my ex-husband said this to me. It was like I was doing something and I was humming while I was, cooking, blah, blah, blah. And he said something to the fact like, I forgot that I like how you hum when you cook or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And it was like those type of things people start taking for granted, or how the person laugh at certain things silly, or how silly they can be because you don't have the time to really kind of observe it when you're in the busyness of life. And so that's one of the things that those kind of date nights and getaways and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. So then that goes, so then I understand that. And that goes right in line with what I'm trying to say. You still have to be in the busiest of busyness. You have to be married or have to be married or have married your best friend, because in those instances, like when you don't have time or you don't, and life just gets in the way because of whatever it is, yeah, you may take those things for granted. But when you do get away or get a moment, to your point, like doing these rules or whatever, yeah, you're still gonna reconnect and be like, damn, yeah, I did, I, for lack of better words, married the right person, because you're actually out with your friend as well as your spouse. And that's like you said, going to be organic and automatic. It's to me, I think people, well, let me say it this way. I think people use the date night thing because in the wrong type of manner, because a lot of times they'll try to do that if they feel as though their flame has died, to spark it back up. And I think a lot of times when those flames die, in my opinion, is because, if you want to call it the connection, then fine, but some type of love is gone, or you didn't got too comfortable, or you just outright tired of the person, so to speak, or it doesn't matter to you as much.
Well, I think they can be used for that too, for reigniting flames. I'm just saying that's not the only purpose for them.
But you gotta have an organic foundation to quote unquote reignite that flame. Because if you got married for all the wrong reasons, so say for instance.
Well, yeah, that, but that's that, but we can't. We have to also say, like, yeah, I get what you're saying if you get married for the wrong reason, but I think there's plenty of people who get married for reasons that are true love and everything else, but still that flame can die out because of life, because of maybe the person is dealing with some type of depression, because of maybe the person has lost their job and has had all this stress going on, or had a parent that's sick, or so because of that, the flame in their relationship has died down. I don't. Hey Jay, I haven't seen you in a while. So I don't think that people whose flames die out are their flames are dying out because they
See,
are together for the wrong reason. I think it's very possible to be in love with someone and your flame still die
this
out.
is one of them things where I have a narrow mind, and I'm going to admit to it, because I understand and I agree with you're saying, but just me in general, it's like, well, I'm talking about me as a person, as your husband, as a spouse or whatever it is. If I lost me at the time when I wasn't working, and because of whatever the circumstances was, yeah, I know I was depressed and whatever the feelings I had, right? But you still was my bright spot, my shining light, my reason to try to figure it out or whatever the case was. So that's what I'm talking about. I don't think that's what I mean when I say you have to marry your best friend, because if we would have got married for money, right, and I'm not working or I lost my job, whatever it is, and then we were doing all of these things, and now I don't have that high paying job. I got a regular job, and we can't do that anymore. But the reason you was attracted and married to me, we can have all the date nights you want. It's just going to be on a lower scale probably than it was when you had all the money or we had all the money or whatever. So I can't do that anymore. And that's one of the things that you were attracted to. So the flame burnt out because it wasn't organic from the beginning. And that's why I'll be looking at that's what I think of when I think of these date nights. Now, I get it. The other issue with us men, sometimes you can feel as though you married your best friend and we take things for granted. I think I said this a while ago. People got to understand that men and women have to understand that, when you first was attracted to that person, you went on dates. That was the whole thing. You went out and had fun and this, that, and the third.
Mm-hmm.
And it's somebody out here right now. If you go to the store and they see you and, want to holler at you, guess what they're going to want to do? Take you out on a date and make you laugh. And most people like going out and having fun and laughing and this, that, and the third. So when you're a couple, if y'all not going out, to your point, when you're not going out, yeah, that could, you guys always got to date your partner, basically.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So, like, I think that people using a date night to reignite flame, I think that's fine too. I just think there's other reasons why people use date nights too. So I get what you're saying, but I think that it's very possible for people to have the flame just die out. And flame for some people could be like the intensity, of the emotional connection, the passion behind it. That could be the flame for a lot of people. So I mean, and sometimes I do, like, you can still be best friends and still love each other and still be like almost like roommates. And that's, to some people, that's the flame burning out. Doesn't mean that they can't reignite it. And so if they use a date night to reignite it in that way, then there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, I mean, again, but I just think, again, like,
it's kind of like that book we had where the book had us doing certain things. That was all about kind of,
yeah, I ain't really like
reignite flame. I did. It was, you didn't like because you kept using, but I'm just saying.
Whatever. So I'm just getting ready. We gonna do something. That just made me think. This is what we gonna do. We're gonna go to a bar, right?
We're not gonna do that because I've already asked you to do that, and you didn't want to do that.
What I'm gonna say?
You probably gonna act like you gonna pick me up or something. I don't know. Yeah. And you say you didn't like role playing, so
yeah,
that's my point.
No,
so some people do date night to role play.
So that's what I was getting ready to say.
But you said that you didn't like that.
Yeah, I don't. But that might be kind of fun because what I'm gonna do.
Oh, now it's fun. When I suggested it 5 years ago, it wasn't fun.
Yeah, it was 5 years ago. We're talking about right now. I'm matured about a half an ounce in 5 years. What I'm saying is we're gonna go to a little bar. You're gonna be sitting at the bar. I'm gonna walk over to you and I'm gonna try to spit some game.
We're not gonna do that.
Hold on. I'm gonna try to spit some game as if I don't know you. And then if that one don't work, then I'm just gonna walk away. I'm gonna come back again and try another one until I get the one to see the work. How about that, buddy? And get you home. But anyway, yeah. But I mean, I kind of, again, I do think, like I said, I do think it's for people. I think it works. Date nights and stuff work better, or the flame gets reunited a lot easier when your relationship is organic and the foundation is organic and you're friends from the beginning. I do think that works a lot easier, that way. So,
It could be true. It's true.
It could be. It is true.
It could be true.
In my therapy one-on-one class that I teach.
He was giving me this big long spiel about this whole 50-50 thing because he made a post and I just...
Oh, yeah. So I will go into that because we got into it kind of heavy right before we got on here. I wish we did it on here. That's the other reason we started trying to do this, because some of our best content is not even on air because we be so animated and in the midst of it. But what I was saying was, I made a post basically that said, I wonder what these people are doing that's doing the 50-50 thing now. If they man is working for the government, do you leave him now because he's not getting a check? And Zorana came back and she basically, tell them what you said.
What did I say? No, you tell them what I said. Do you remember what I said?
I remember you said a lot, but I know I'm gonna tell my side, and you can do it that way, right? Because my thought process behind me saying that is, like this whole 50. Number one, we agree that this whole 50-50 argument is just silly, right? My whole thing is from a man's perspective. It's like I can see us men saying like, oh, now, or see men saying in general like, oh, well, I ain't in the check and I ain't bringing it in now. This is why, I wanted to go 50-50 or whatever the case may be. And, and men probably will be thinking that since she ain't want to go 50-50, he can't pay everything now, that, he gonna up and bounce. I mean, she's going to up and bounce. And my point behind me even trying to make that post was, it's not always 100% anybody. Things change and situations change. So that's what I was trying to allude to. Situations change, and he may not always be able to do 100% of everything. So if you're not, quote unquote, willing to go 50-50, then what happens when situations like this happen? That was what I was trying to allude to.
I know what he was trying to allude to, but just I think there was like a lot of
I was texting and driving too.
There's so much wrong with that argument.
But go ahead.
So first of all, I'm pretty sure that most people, when they're talking about the whole 50-50 thing, they're not saying like, oh, but if you lose your job and something should happen, like the government shutdown, we're going to walk away from you because that means you're no longer doing 50-50. I don't think that was
but that's how extreme they make it look seems
to begin with. But what I was telling him, I really don't see anything wrong with people who want a relationship where the man is paying 100% or whatever, or the woman is paying 100% of the bills, and the other partner is like a homemaker or something. I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't knock people for that. I've seen some very some relationships have thrived like that. Some people who are very happy living like that, and for a lot of people, for the people who do that it actually works for them, especially if they're in a loving relationship. They're not being financially abused. They have a partner who's not trying to control them financially or anything like that. It's truly just that's how they were raised. That's how they saw their parents being, when they were growing up, and that's just what they do. So I've seen people do that successful. I've seen people do 50-50. What I was telling him is that what happens is that when you take something like this whole concept of whether or not people should contribute 50-50, most of the time they're talking about just financially. And because of the way men have been raised, because of the way society has raised men, because there's a lot of men and women have both had issues with trauma. However, men are not frequently going to seek mental health for their trauma. So because they still have a lot of issues with trauma-based responses, with things that happened in their childhood that they're dealing with, that they haven't got, and that stuff manifests itself in various ways in relationships. Because of that, then when a woman happens to go 50-50 with a man, from what I've seen, from what I've looked at for studies, the relationship is not even. So you have the 50-50 with regards to financially, but then the woman is carrying everything else in that relationship. And that's the issue. That's the issue when you try to take something that has been interwoven into a society that has been kind of formed around this societal structure that we've have and try to change it, what happens is that the people are not equipped to deal with the change in the manner that they should. And what I mean by that is the men are not equipped to say, okay, well, I'm going to take on some of this emotional burden. I'm going to take on some of this nurturing aspect. I'm going to take on some of these household responsibilities because they were never equipped with that. So to say, okay, well, now let's do 50-50 financially, and the woman will not only work outside the house and contribute to the bills financially, but now she also has to carry all this other stuff. That's unfair.
Yep.
And until men can get to a point where they're able to equally carry that other stuff, then for some people, the 50-50 talk is probably too much. It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. I have looked at people in those traditional relationships and have thought to myself, now, I was one of the people who was very unconventional, where I've worked and the kids' dad stayed at home and took care of the kids and things like that. And we kind of made it work in my first marriage like that. But I look at some of these women now who are having kids and who are staying at home with their kids and are a bit able to homeschool their kids and able to focus strictly on the kids and raising them. And so I'm like, dang, I wish I could have had that while I was having 8 kids. That'd have been nice, actually, to have somebody who was making because now nobody wants to be doing that and struggling. So that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying like the example I've seen where a man is actually making, decent money. They live decently. They blah, blah, blah. That would have been nice. I can't see myself ever complaining about something like that, like being able to stay home with the kids and homeschool them and take care of them and then go off to my little massages and everything else, and the man work and bring in the money and pay all the bills. I wouldn't have been mad.
So now let me intervene right here. Number one, what she just said, how you just said that, makes it sound like that's just the simplest thing in the world. And I think that's what a lot of us men have in our head, like literally, and I'm telling you as your husband, what you just said made it seem like, oh, that's just the greatest and easiest thing in the world. Stay at home, homeschool the kids, cook, clean, blah, 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 and I'll go have a massage. If you say that, of a man hear you say that, and his response will be, oh, must be nice. All you got to do is stay at home and do, like, that's the response. But from somebody that, and I'm not going to say act like I'm the best cooker and homemaker or whatever, but somebody that had to do that here with you for a minute, let me tell y'all something. That is the hardest thing in the world. That is the hardest job to try to take care of a house and do everything, I'm not saying that I had to do a whole lot, but operate with the kids and just take care of everything. That is hard and it's very tiresome. I'd rather go to work 10 days a week than sit at home and do that. So the way you just made it sound, men would be like, oh yeah, that's nice. That's all you got to do, blah, 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 blah. So I want to preface my next statement by saying that. So that's not an easy job. And the thing that here's where we came to agreement at, and at least I agree with her. When this argument of 50-50 is going, like she just said, we as men will go to work, come home, a wife or girlfriend, whatever partner went to work, come home, and then we'll sit on the couch and still wait on the plate. And she has to do everything with the kids and have to do everything else around the house and da 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 da. That's what a lot of men, I'm not going to say all, but that's what, my peers that I've been around coming up, that I've seen and talked to, that's what they do. They wife go to work and she come home, cook, clean, and do whatever she got, go to teachers' meetings, have TV, all of that. And all we do is go to work. So the 50-50 thing is not really, like she said, is really not 50-50. And, she listed the whole reasons of why we will come up with, like, we ain't capable, we ain't nurturing. She said all that to me prior to getting on here. So, I don't really have nothing to say about that, but I would say that whole 50-50 argument is not a real 50-50 argument, because if we're talking about the 50-50, we're talking about everything that encompasses a household, not just the financial aspect of it. So when we said we figured it out, I think that's the whole the whole thing, because they're just, everybody, both sides are just talking about the financial aspect. They're not talking about everything else that comes along with it, period. And I made a statement to her too, and you can say your response, that um if a woman does stay at home and a man does pay all the bills, or vice versa, I'm just saying that because that's what how we saying it. Um, for whatever reason, his expectations probably would be to come home, and if he had a trying day and all of this, that, and the third, that, and I don't think this is fair neither, that whatever days he had, a hard day he had, he gonna come home and lay that burden on his wife. And I don't think that's fair to her neither, because as I said, being a home, standing at home and taking care of, that ain't no easy job.
Right.
So then he comes home and then trying to vent to her and this, that, and the third, and it's expected that she listen and hear or whatever it is. And if she don't, then you're not there for me, type of stuff. So I still don't think that part is fair either. So in closing, my statement is 50-50 is more than just that's what we figured out, is more than just the financial aspect.
It is. And there's a reason why your households with the female breadwinners have like the highest divorce rates, y'all. And I don't know how many times this has to be said to men, because it's too much. I can guarantee you that it has nothing to do with the fact that they were like, oh, we don't want to be the one that's providing all the, paying for the majority of the bills. It's not that. It's because they're paying for the majority of the bills, and on top of that, they having all the other stuff they have to do too. That's the issue. Because, and on top of that, their emotional needs aren't being met. Because, and on top of that, they don't, there's being a lot, where they have to pour a lot out of themselves into their partner, and they're not being replenished. That's the reason. It has nothing to do with the fact that they're like, oh, well, we make more money, so let's just leave. No, that's not it at all. It's because they still feel like the relationship is unequal. It's not equal.
The worst thing you can ever do in a relationship, and this will, I'll say it especially applies to women, but it goes to both parties, is make your partner feel unheard. And when I say that, like I'm listening to her, what she's saying, and what I'm hearing, or what I'm thinking about rather, is, if you have a woman that has to do all of that, and she's telling you like, hey, this is not fair, or hey, I need help here, or hey, this is going, you know what I mean, and you do nothing about it. That makes people feel unheard.
Yeah.
And to, dare I say, unappreciated.
Yeah.
Because if you are listening actively, what you say, actively, intentionally listening,
yeah,
then it becomes it turns into them, the partner feeling not appreciated. And now what I have learned is you can actually actively and intentionally listen to somebody, but you don't have to agree with it. Now, I still understand that can probably turn into something else too, because you don't agree with it, then somebody may still feel as though they're not being heard or unappreciated. But yeah. I was looking that up the other day. I told Quentin that I was looking that up today too. This is sidebar, just ran across my mind. I was looking that up today too, about like how actively listening and hearing and what they say. One thing you could do is start off saying, okay, so I hear you. You're basically saying that I'm not doing blah, 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 and you doing all of this and da, 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 da. Now, I hear you. That's what you said. Now, you don't have to agree with it and then give you a side of the story. They said by acknowledging what they're saying.
That's perception checking, which is what I've always been telling you.
Yeah.
It's like engaged in perception checking. It could be like, so what I heard you say is blah, blah, blah. Or so, and it could be asked a question. So are you saying blah, 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 blah? Do you mean blah, blah, blah? That sort of thing. But like, and then you have to be receptive to that.
Yeah.
Like a person perception checking too. So, and it's funny because when I was just looking at this and it was talking about the, some of the key factors to why these, houses with the female breadwinner, why they have the higher divorce rates. And it says that studies show that women who are the primary breadwinners often still do a disproportionate amount of household chores and childcare, which can cause exhaustion and dissatisfaction. And then it says, women earning more can lead to a decline in happiness reported by both partners, possibly due to the combined stress of being the sole or primary earner and the homemaker. So what happens then is you have this combination of things happening. You have where women are saying, okay, I'm doing all the work, right? And even in back in the day, if you think about it, even before, if a woman felt like she's mistreated in a marriage or she was unhappy in a marriage, she couldn't really do a whole lot about it because she wasn't working and she didn't have the money. So now what you have is this kind of perfect, quote unquote, storm of a woman being in a marriage. She's feeling like she's not getting the help she has in that marriage. But on top of that, now she has the financial independence where she'd be like, I don't have to stay in this. I can just go though. I ain't got to sit here and take this. So I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. That's kind of like the key turning point and why the women are able to walk away like they are, and why probably you seeing this increase of women saying, like, because now they're like, so for people who want the 50-50, it may not be in your best interest, because the more woman feels financially independent, the more she's like, okay, well, I don't feel like this is fair, so I'm just going to leave now.
So then, you know what? So part of me like says this, right? Because I get the you know, that sort of goes down the line as it, you know, I can do bad by myself, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're doing all of this by yourself, I mean, if you're with somebody and you're still doing everything by yourself, or it seems like you're doing everything by yourself, or you feel like you're doing everything by yourself, then I can understand somebody saying, well, if I'm doing it all by myself, like, okay, then bye. Like, what are you here for, right? But I understand that thought process, but then I have a problem with that. I get that you're supposed to make one another lives easier, right? I don't even know how to express what I'm thinking. It's like, okay, so that's a big thing to feel like you're doing something by yourself. Mm-hmm. But is that the main purpose of being in a relationship? Like, I don't know how to express it, how to say it. It just seems like, okay, well, yeah, you can do it by yourself, but you got a partner that loves you.
Yeah, but if it's making you unhappy because you're stressed out.
But aren't you going to be stressed out if you're doing it by yourself?
Not necessarily.
If you don't have nobody? But
what they're saying,
that's the point that I'm trying to get.
It's more than just doing it by yourself, though. Now you ain't got to worry about that other person coming and dumping more on you, though, either. And you ain't got to worry about that other person coming and dumping their problems on you. Like, now everything is just you. You're in complete control
of sense.
What you have to deal with at that point.
That makes more sense. And then whatever problems you're gonna have anyway,
right? And
you don't have to deal with somebody else's
stuff. You ain't got to deal with a moody person coming home moody because they had an itty day at work, but you didn't get a chance to be moody because you had an itty day at work because you had to do all this stuff to keep the house in order.
Well,
and sometimes I'll say that to him, like, like him and sometimes the kids, you need to take a rest. And I'm like, sometimes I don't feel like I can't take a rest. But I'm saying that to say, like, when I'm guessing when a woman leaves, at that point, it's like, okay, now I can take a rest because everything is within my control. I ain't got to worry about whether or not he did blah, 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 because I know, you know what I'm saying? That sort of thing.
Because you already took care of it. Well, that makes a little bit of sense.
And so people, I mean, I don't know what to tell people. Like that debate, I think, again, just like I was telling Jermaine, I was saying, I think in order for something like that to truly work, you would have to really start from scratch with little children and raising them outside of what society has ingrained in them. Because I don't know, I don't know where men can get the whole nurturing aspect from if they haven't been raised like that.
But you know what's crazy about that?
And I don't think it's necessarily fair to say, like, every woman is responsible for teaching a man this or for teaching a man.
But what's crazy is this too, because from a man perspective, I haven't, but I've seen people that say the men that have a nature and characteristic about them or whatever the case may be, it's the men that's kind of really close to their mothers, and mothers basically raised them, and they always basically, as they say, stayed on the tata. But on the same token, them guys get picked at and sometimes get looked over because they're called mama boys.
Because of societal. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Version of societal, what we've been taught.
Because because you get called the mama boy, that's gonna make you. That's kind of emasculating you a little bit, because now you're gonna feel as though you got something to prove that no, I ain't a mama's boy, I'm a real man, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So like that's the ones that actually has that nurturing spirit is the ones that's like super close to their mom.
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah.
Because that's where you're gonna get it from.
Exactly. And for some reason, Jay, you're saying you don't have a nurturing type of characteristic. And that's common for a lot of men.
I don't either, Jay.
It's common for a lot of men to not have that, or be able to emotionally become in tune to that level that a lot of women need. So again, when you think about it in that respect, yeah, there's some benefits to this whole, people should be 50-50, but that only comes into play if everything else is equal. And at this point, I don't think it is going to be, unless, again, you start from scratch with little kids and start raising them to be gender neutral with regards to a lot of stuff. I think
that it could be, even in today's society, if it'd be hard, but I think that it could be, because I'll use me for instance. I'll tell y'all a little bit about me. I learned how to become a little bit more emotional to try to connect, and I'm still learning, like with my wife. So a lot of things that I would think, and you correct me if I'm wrong, like if she's off a little bit, I had to learn how to pick up on certain signals or stuff like that. That's part of it, but the nurturing aspect, I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. If I had to, like, she's going away for work for a whole week, and I ain't tell you this, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm a little bit nervous, right? Because I'm gonna be here by myself with the kids, and yes, the kids are self-sufficient, I get it, but it's still like I've never really been in that position before, right? Can I take care of a house? Yes, or whatever. I could take care of. I've always said this. I could take care of me. Even in my previous marriage, my wife had to do all of that. In any other relationship I was in, like, the women did all of that. I just did whatever I did financially or whatever the case may be. So I didn't grow up to have a nurturing type of characteristic or learn that. And I don't want to say a lot of men didn't, because I can't speak on that aspect, but I know personally I didn't. And that's going to be kind of, I think I got it, because I've been, ever since she told me, I already came up in my head what I need to do, how I'm going to do it, and this, that, and the third. And part of that is not bothering her necessarily about problems while she's away, because if she has to go to work, this is some of the things that she's talking about, the quote unquote 50-50 stuff or whatever. But she don't need to be away from the house and then worry about if this is going on and that's going on and blah, blah, blah. So, it's little things like that makes a big, big difference. So, but yep.
It does. It really does. You said nope. That's why I always say thank God for mothers. Yeah, exactly. So, that's a real thing, and it's an issue. And I don't know. I don't know if the future means that more people are going to be married to AI. I wonder how long the marriages to AI is going to last. They may last forever, because you can probably just tune the person up.
Well, you ain't got to do that, because
you just
no, you ain't got to do that. Remember, because AI is like, well, you know this more than me. The self-learning.
Yeah.
So therefore, if you got a robot walking around with a chip in his head, and you like, no, you don't put that garbage bag there, then it's gonna whoop, whoop, whoop. The garbage bag will never be there again. You know what I'm saying? So it's self-learning. That's kind of crazy now that you said that, though.
Ooh. I mean, I can see it happen. You got AI Ghost, so.
Ghost. Oh, you talking about that
Ghost,
thing?
The grief box, the AI grief box, which is strange, but I can see it getting to that point where people people already have AI girlfriends and boyfriends, right? And I know, like, people think it's strange. I can see how we have gotten there, though. I can see how that's happened, even though I don't think it's healthy. I can see how we've gotten to that point where people have to are doing that and feeling like they need to do that and feeling like they are providing them with something more than what they would get, I guess, out of a human or something.
Well, I still, you know, we've had that discussion too. That's a discussion for another day about the progression of that and this, that, and the third. But I will tell you this: I've seen a lot of people that's literally breaking up with their girlfriends and boyfriends because of chatbots. So, what do you want, man?
I'm just listening.
Do you have a chatbot friend?
Yeah, you got a chatbot friend, son?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So,
Like
but
AI?
yeah.
No.
So, like, you have, matter of fact, we seen something. This is totally off subject. This is we seen that dang on kid that killed himself because the chatbot had told him to or something.
Yeah, something weird. Yeah.
So, but yeah, people have been breaking up with their spouses and girlfriends and boyfriends because they're in relationships with AI.
The chatbots tell them like, you need to break up with them. You no good.
I'll be here for you.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like I said, that's the natural progression of how things are happening in this world. So I would be surprised you saw a bunch of people married to AIs.
Yeah. It wouldn't be bad to have two Zoranas though. Yeah, I have a robot Zorana and then my regular wife.
I'm not gonna be around if you got a robot. Me.
I mean, why? Yeah, I'm just saying. I'll just leave it. I'll just leave it unplugged, and then when you're not here, I can just plug it up, and then I have a program to do everything I want to do. And
the robot me gonna be like, why you leave me here with this man?
I have a program to do everything I want. Rub my feet, massage my fingers.
Yeah, no.
So,
but anyway, but that's it for today, I think.
And I want to tell y'all this, Jay, where you at in the world, man? Because I don't know if you ever been to California. From what I know about you, you travel a lot. Boy, if you can get out there, I'll say you get out there and stay out there. Don't ever move, ever, because this is oh man, that's all I'm gonna say.
California is expensive.
Yeah, we paid $6.59 for some gas, regular. So
it's very expensive, very, very, very expensive.
Oh, I gotta tell y'all, just in case y'all don't know too, I'm happy for my wife. She did something for herself.
Let's not talk about that.
You know,
why do you keep telling her like
listen,
that?
I'm excited for you for that. Okay, I won't tell nobody.
Well, tell them what?
What I was gonna tell them? What I always tell everybody.
Was y'all what you posted all on Facebook already?
Yes.
I don't know why he does that. I don't put my business out there like that. Oh, he's in Washington D.C. He said.
Oh well, man. Listen, man.
He was just in L.A. last week.
No, we just left LA last. Well, no, that was this weekend.
We left. Yeah, we were there.
We got there Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday of last week, and we left on Sunday.
Sunday, got back early Monday morning, but that's
and
our
then
second.
We was there again. We was there
for our anniversary
in September too.
And then we're going back in March.
We go back in March with the kids for a spring break.
Yeah, which we start putting up some money.
But we do love it out there, but it's just that it's just so expensive. I think that I don't know if I can reconcile giving up land and house square footage for something on the beach that's like 200 square feet.
Yeah, I seen an apartment on Santa Monica. A studio in Santa Monica. It was like what $3,000 a month.
Yeah, for
something that was 300. Our living room was bigger than the damn studio. 399 square feet.
It was.
It was on the beach, but oh well. But yeah, for us to move out there with how big our family is, we need like a $10 million house.
Yeah, it just
and we still wouldn't have no land.
It just wouldn't be conducive.
So,
unfortunately, but don't mean we can't vacation back and forth out there.
I'm like Biggie. Don't mean nigga can't. Sorry. Don't mean can't rest in the West. I don't smoke cess, and I don't go out there to look at women's breasts. But that ain't the point. Y'all is a mess thinking I'm gonna stop giving LA props. I'm going back.
So we will have to plan that. You will have to just vacation back and forth out there.
Yeah,
until it's time for me to retire, and then I get rid of all. not get rid of them, but all the kids go off on their own.
And then we can stand.
Then I
at-
may just go out there.
then we can stand.
Then
at
I'm gonna
studio.
leave him, be a walkway wife.
Oh,
I'm gonna leave him, and then I'm gonna just go out there by myself. Like the people that we saw, they said we out here or it was an older couple. They had to be like in their 60s or 70s, and they was like, "Come out to where were they trying to get us to go to?"
I don't know.
It was some beach,
it was-
Venice.
No, it wasn't Venice. It was
Yeah.
Long Beach. It was Long Beach.
Yeah, come out to Long Beach. We party out here. I was thinking like, yeah, y'all look like y'all party
Yeah.
a lot.
Yes. Now back to this walkaway wife, and she retired. She's not going out there by herself. She's gonna walk away.
I'm going out there by myself.
I'm gonna walk away with half, and then I'm gonna be out there. So I'll be out there with her half of what she walked away for. Because you're not gonna walk away and go out there. You got to pick a battle. You're not about to do that. You
Judge, I demand that she take me to California too.
She ain't gotta give me half. Just get me out there. That's what we do. Either that or she stay her butt here and give me half, and I go out there. She can't have both. So it's gonna be one of the two.
All right. Well, we gotta go carve pumpkins with these kids.
No, I'm not calling.
You are carving. Yes, you
I'm
are.
not
You
carving.
have to because okay, but I'm
I'm
tired.
not supportive.
This is what we talked about. 50-50. That's why we can't do 50-50.
Yep.
Because this is
right
what
now.
men do.
Right now it's 98.9. It's 99.999% to my 1%. So you got.
You don't even have a 1%.
I do. You're right. It's a
It's
tenth
like
of a percent. It's
0.25.
a tenth of a percent.
No,
No, it's a tenth of
no.
a percent. I just said 99.9.
No.
So yeah.
No.
Yep. So,
No.
go carve the pumpkin, baby.
You gonna come help carve
can't.
these pumpkins? Yes, you are. We gotta watch a scary movie. You told them we was going to a scary movie tonight.
No, we did not.
Yes,
You said that
every
tomorrow.
Night, no, every night up until Halloween,
Hey,
we're
I
watching a
need
scary
Jay
movie,
counsel us.
and then we're
Because this ain't
and
working.
then we're carving a pumpkin tonight, and then we go trick.
We
or
did
treat.
what now?
We going trick or treat tomorrow. So we have to watch a scary movie. We have to carve a pumpkin tonight. Then tomorrow we have to go trick or treating, and then we have to come home and we have to make all the stuff, the goodies, for the movie party. That's what we're doing this
I'm
weekend.
sick.
No, you're not.
I'm not
All
calling.
right. Have a good night.
Good seeing
you
you,
are.
brother. But I ain't calling no
Bye
pumpkin.
bye. Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
You're gonna carve a pumpkin.
I'm calling no damn pumpkin.
You
I ain't
are.
saying that for no